All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having an incredible day today. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I do post Lakers videos quite often, just about every single day. So if you enjoy it, like I said, man, hit that like button, hit that sub button. It really helps out my channel, really helps me grow. So let's just get right into it. I want to talk about the Lakers' possible buyout moves. I want to talk more specifically about Otto Porter Jr. You guys know I live here in Chicago. Otto just got traded to the Magic, and although no rumors or rumblings have occurred yet, they definitely could be. We've got two empty roster spots right now. Damian Jones made pretty good impression, but a lot of Lakers fans have now moved their focus onto Andre Drummond, since Andre Drummond and the Cleveland Cavaliers, they agreed to a buyout yesterday. So I think that the Lakers, they should definitely target another defensive wing player. In my opinion, particularly one who can handle the ball, but I get that's really not the biggest issue, I suppose. So for me, I would totally be down to get another defensive wing player. I think that's definitely a need we have. I think a defensive big is another big thing, but I do believe we will sign Andre Drummond. If you want to check out an Andre Drummond update, go on my channel. I've got a couple of videos about that, but this is probably the route they should be taking. We have Marc Gasol on this lineup. His offensive rating, we have KCP on this lineup as well. I don't think that Marc Gasol is the answer at all. He gets worn down really quickly. He's really slow. But I don't think he's the biggest issue. I just think Andre Drummond needs to get signed, because I don't want to go into the playoffs with just Trez, just Marc Gasol, and just Anthony Davis, because if Anthony Davis isn't fully healthy, if he isn't 100%, and we're rolling in with Trez and Marc Gasol, as much as I love Marc Gasol, I know he plays good D, I know he can knock down an open shot, help space the court, but with Trez, I mean, there isn't really any defense there. There's obviously a bunch of offense, but there isn't really any defense there, so I need Andre Drummond on this team for that defensive help, and then getting a guy like Otto Porter Jr. would definitely be a help. So Otto on the season, he's been banged up, man. Just kind of his entire tenure in Chicago was almost hurt the entire time. It felt like not fun one bit. This season, he's averaging just slightly under 10 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game. Half a steal. You take a look at last year's stats. I mean, he averaged 12 points per game and a steal. He's a good 3-and-D player. He's a solid player when healthy. But if he isn't healthy, I mean, I don't really know. Like, he can't really, I mean, no injured player can help any team. But the thing about this dude is I don't even know if he's capable of playing 30 minutes a night anymore. Like, Otto Porter Jr. is 27 years old, but I mean, if I didn't tell you that, you probably would have thought he's at least 30 years old now. So it's pretty crazy. But defensively, I will say, no matter what, he is there. Like, he's there. Defensively, that is not an issue. But I think Otto should be relatively high on LA's list. The Wizards, they haven't made the playoffs since 2018. But Porter, he's 6'8". He's a great floor spacer. Muscle up against big perimeter threats. Just back injuries have really derailed this dude. I mean, they really have. Played 25 games, 14 last season. He was active leading into the trade deadline. So he's healthy right now. He's good to go right now. He's not even available yet, like I said, but he was moved to Orlando at the deadline. And since the Magic are going to tank, I mean, they traded away 3 of their starters. I would have to imagine they want to continue that and they want to tank. So I'd have to imagine Otto hits the buyout market relatively soon, which I definitely should have seen coming before I picked him up in fantasy. I don't even want to look at who I gave up because I just know I made a mistake here. But I think another possible scenario, take a look at the Houston Rockets, because they've got there's logic there. Obviously, you know the Rockets want a ton of draft picks. They're kind of throwing everything up. But they've got two guys in particular who I think could help out this Los Angeles Lakers team. Ben McLemore, who's got playoff experience. He can shoot. He can switch. Not good on defense, but Sterling Brown, he's 6'5", but he plays much bigger than that. He just dropped a double-double last night. This dude is super consistent. He's just super consistent. So maybe even Daniel House, but he's under contract next season. So maybe like there's a Markieff Morris. I don't really know how this is going to go down, but I think the Houston Rockets are definitely just a team to look out for in this buyout market situation. Last night, the Los Angeles Lakers, they got a much-needed victory, just a much-needed victory. I'm so glad we have Trez and Schroeder right now because they are helping us so much. Kuzma did not have a great night, played 27 minutes, 4, 8, and 7. Decent statistics, but 2 of 7 from the field didn't really help out much on offense. Schroeder and Trez really handled that. We beat the Cavs last night to snap the 4-game losing streak. Schroeder 17, 5 and 7 on an extremely efficient 7-12 shooting the ball. He threw in 4 steals as well, and then Trez just had an incredible game, as he's been having just an incredible couple of games with Anthony Davis and LeBron James being out. He went 24 and 10 on 10 of 15 shooting, super efficient. And THT last night, very cool, very cool. I love seeing this dude get minutes. He got 32 of them last night, threw in 2 steals, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 6 of 11 shooting with a 3-point shot. So this Los Angeles Lakers team finally got a W, thank goodness gracious. Marc Gasol even played last night. So they play the Magic tomorrow on Sunday, and then the Kings next Friday. So a huge little break snuck in there. But I'm so curious what other Lakers fans want from the Lakers. You've got a whole bunch of opportunities. I forgot to mention Avery Bradley on the Houston Rockets. He's definitely going to be getting bought out. I mentioned him in a couple of my videos, but he'll definitely get bought out. So he's kind of a good, solid veteran 3-point shooter who can also play defense. But what I love about the buyout market so much is they're usually veterans with experience, and then you throw in a guy who has playoff experience, and that just helps out the Los Angeles Lakers case even more. So I love buyout market season. You got Otto Porter Jr. possibly. You've got Andre Drummond. Hopefully Andre Drummond news breaks soon, because I cannot wait for when his news drops, because I am so sure he's going to sign with the Lakers. It makes total sense to me. I don't know why he would go anywhere else on the Lakers. If he comes to the Lakers and drops 15 and 15, I will start crying, because I think that would mean a Lakers championship. That would just be pretty ridiculous. I would be terrified if I was the NBA. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys later.